Greetings, my name is Chamomile, and this is an exploration of the entire galaxy sector by sector. Today, we're looking at the Albarrio Sector, an 8th Bright Jewel Command of the Outer Rim. Albarrio Sector was the primary objective of 8th Bright Jewel Command during the Clone Wars. It was home to Scipio, homeworld of the moons. Scipio kind of sucks even for the moons, though, so the plurality of their population is on, well, Coruscant, actually. You get a lot of weird stories like this, where a species that makes up less than 1% of the population of Coruscant nevertheless has more members on Coruscant than on any other planet in the galaxy. But the moon planet with the highest population is Moonalinst, which is named after the moon, not the other way around. Scipio is home to all the moon's most ancient institutions, though, which includes being headquarters of the Banking Clan. The Banking Clan was officially neutral in the Clone Wars, and even got a deregulation wish list partway through the war, as the Republic sought to fund an expansion of the GAR. Everyone knew that capturing Albarrio Sector would allow the Republic to apply more pressure to the Banking Clan to play according to the Republic's rules, so while the planet was never a military target, you didn't have to be in on the details of the CIS's Secret Council of Corporate Evil to know that securing Scipio's system as firmly within Republic space would be a major win. After Yavin 4, seeing signs that the Empire's grip on the Outer Rim was crumbling, the Moons became low-key rebel supporters. The Rebellion didn't like to be associated with Separatists because the fact is the Seps were beaten to a bloody pulp and never allowed to fully recover, so the most powerful rebel allies were always going to be planets that were Republic loyalists yet also anti-Imperial, like Corellia and Alderaan. That meant no one was super eager to pressure the Moons into taking a more prominent role in the Rebellion, and the Moons were happy to limit their involvement to smuggling credits with forged chain codes to the rebels rather than anything more frontline. The sector capital world under the Empire was Eris, a rainforest planet of no particular importance chosen, I imagine, pretty much purely because it was never a CIS stronghold of any kind, and the Empire wanted to humiliate and disenfranchise the Moons as much as possible. They never officially declared the sector to be the domain of the Hodin or the Morishim, though, two other species with a significant presence in the sector. The Hodin homeworld of Moltok is not found in Albarrio Sector, but they do have a major colony world called Enem Karo, which they settled in the High Republic era. During the Imperial era, Enem Koro became a battlefield between two other species in the sector. Records don't say which two, but we can be pretty sure it's the Moons and the Moorish because they're the only other ones here. The Empire suppressed the war by orbitally bombarding both sides because when given a dangerously chaotic situation where the restoration of order could win some genuine popular support in the Outer Rim, the Empire never fails to squander it with pointless cruelty and dim-witted heavy-handedness. Not a whole lot of records about the Moorish ever doing much. They were short, furry, and loud. And that's about all I can find about them. Even their participation in the war is speculative, drawn mainly from the fact that we know the two major sides were defined along species lines, neither of them were Hodin, and the Albarrio sector only has two other major species. Well, unless you count the Lurmans, native species of Mygeeto. Yeah, we finally got into the big one. Despite the build-up and being famous for looking neat, especially at night when illuminated by the artillery fires of the Clone Wars, not a whole lot happened on Mygeeto. The Moons colonized it, enslaved the native Lurmans, convinced the Republic that the Lurmans were non-sentient, so this was totally legal, and because Mygeeto was the second most important planet in the sector, the Banking Clan chose Mygeeto to officially go Sep, while Scipio remained nominally neutral. 8th Bright Jewel banged their head against that rock on 4 different occasions, and the 4th attack finally succeeded. At this point in the Clone Wars, the Separatists had been split into 4 different nations that weren't really capable of supplying one another on any significant scale, which means Mygeeto was the de facto capital of one of the 4 Separatist nations. They were already teetering on the brink of annihilation when Order 66 came down, and were one of the first remnants to go under during the reconquest of the Rim. The Banking Clan funded the Separatist droid armies, but you can't just transmute credits into battle droids. You need factories and raw materials and stuff, so unsurprisingly, the financial capital of the CIS didn't last long once Palpatine decided the war had served its purpose, and it was time to wrap things up.